Alright, we should be live, I would think. Of course, there's going to be a little delay, so you're just going to see me staring into space. And I apologize for that. Let me just move this out of the way here. Where's my glasses? I had them out here. Oh, there we go. It's always a mess. Wait a minute, why is this on? Oh, because I was filming. There's always something going on here. Always something going on here. So, we'll just give everybody, the usual people a chance to pop in. Going out live early, I have a lot to do today. It's just one of those days, and I'm trying to get ready for what's coming and what we have going on. Couple things off center that we'll talk about that has nothing to do with the title. For those of you that are at night, I have to decompress somehow, some way, somehow. And if you can hear me, just let me know. Or hey, Greg, how you doing? And I have my 12 terabyte drive, which has every console that you can ever imagine, and probably every game that's ever been made. It's got like 120,000 games on it. But, forgive me, it's that time. Monster, what's up? What is it? Reman, what's up? So anyways, the way I decompress is, I've been playing a lot of video games. Well, I found this thing called EX MS-DOS, and it is a 5 gigabyte file that you can download, and it has all the MS-DOS emulators on it. And I've been able to download some really old stuff. I think I sent something out on Twitter and whatchamacallit. I was playing some old college football simulation game. Let me see if I did that. Oh, there's the news. That's going on. Gabby, let's not start this in and out stuff. I had to feed her out here because she, okay, she's just going to lay down in front of the door like she normally does. Because it's the other one that usually comes out. Okay, so tomorrow I've got a bunch of packages coming, so hopefully it's my comic books. Because I set a limit, and then you get paid. Hello, dear. I am happy to share my new Sudoku game book. No, we don't do that on this channel. Okay, let me just go check. Did I take a picture of it? Yes, it was just an old college football simulation game that I put up there. And, oh my God, I started playing. Does anybody remember the old Crossbow? I love that game. Where all you hear is ho 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 when the eye pops up, and you're taking your mouse, and well, it used to be a rollerball, and you get the little targeting thing, and you're trying to hit all the things that are trying to hit your people that are just walking by real slow, which they take their time. Let me tell you something. If there's a bunch of monkeys throwing coconuts at me, I'm not sitting there walking. Okay, fireballs coming from the sky, I ain't walking, I'm running. No, these people just walking, having a good time, daydreaming. It's an all-time great game, though. Because the final level is just brutal, if you can get there. And then what was the other thing that I was messing with? I'm just giving people a chance to come in here so I don't have to repeat myself 15 times. Because there's going to be a lot of changes that I'm going to do. And it's just been a very, very bad week. God, what the heck was I playing? I downloaded Ogre. I downloaded all the Bard's Tales. All the fantasies. I beat Fantasy though. I think I just downloaded it to have on my computer. I must have done. When you open up this file, you can now have access to almost 7,600 games, and they cover anywhere from 1978 all the way to 1995 when Windows 95 came out. But it's all the MS-DOS stuff. Oh God, what the heck did I get? Of course, I brought down Dungeon Master, which one of these days I'm going to sit and beat that game. But they had a Dungeon Master 2. I got Wayne Gretzky Hockey, which I really loved, from Becerra, or whatever the name of the company is. But the first one was really good. The second was good. I never knew they had a third one, so I downloaded that. And these game files are like, 200, 35 meg, 100 meg. Bunch of war games I downloaded. Harpoon, Fantasy General, which is probably one of the greatest freaking games of all time. Panzer General, Star General, which is another all-time favorite of mine. Love Star General. Just an all-time classic. What else did I download? All the police quests, the hero quests. No, what was it called? What was the hero quest? All the Sierra games. SimCity. Got all those. Nothing better than unleashing the monster. Everything you built and just destroying it all. Any good dungeon crawler RPGs and on MS-DOS? My brother, I'm gonna put it to you as plainly as I can. That was the only time there were good dungeon crawlers. They relied on story, and you had to use your imagination a little bit. Not so much your imagination, but if you go, oh God, I wish I had the file here. It's a 5 gig file to get the thing down, and it downloads this thing called Lunchbox. But then they took care of everything and made it so easy for you to access everything. And I am too young, so I skipped it and went to Windows 95. Okay, well, while we're on this subject, and before we talk about everything else, because I'm letting everybody in first, so if you're waiting to hear all the news, don't worry, I'll get to it. But right now, I just don't want to repeat myself 4 or 5 times. And I'm usually on for an hour, so I got to fill time anyways. But one of the greatest periods of time was, the original games. Now, the graphics are not the greatest thing, but you get into the story. So if you go there, and it's EX MS-DOS, and if somebody can look it up, if you go to that, I think it's exmsdos.com. You have a choice. You can download the file is 635 gigs. Okay, which is quite a bit, almost a terabyte of stuff. You can download that file, or you can get the mini and then pick the games you want. Okay, a suggestion: if you want to play some of the best, all the games that are here today, the role-playing games, are now here because of these games, and I'm going to list them off. Bard's Tale 1, 2, and 3. Okay, great games. You can get all of them there. Wizardry. Okay. Now, what I suggest though is playing the new Wizardry. If you have an Xbox or a PlayStation, download that. The updated graphics really makes a lot of fun. You want to have a pencil and a piece of paper with you, because let's face it, you didn't know the map. Okay, you didn't go into a dungeon and go, oh yeah, I know this whole thing, unless somebody mapped it. Okay, so you actually kind of got to go, okay, I'm going north 3 spaces, and I would get graph paper. It really immerses you in your party. The Wizardries, the Ultimas, which were good. Fantasies was good. The all-time classic that I think you would like, and it would bridge the gap for you, especially a younger person, excuse me, is the gold box Dungeons and Dragons games. They were officially licensed. They were made by a company called SSI. And oh my God, they were so good. They were so good. There were so many of them. I downloaded all those, of course. Pool of Radiance, which is a great one. Champions of Kern, and and all these fantastic games. Eye of the Beholder was another one, which was really, really big and good. What else did I download? Fairy Tale Adventure, which is just a fantastic story, and I really like it. Another one that I can really suggest that I think you would like, Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master 1, Dungeon Master 2. Download those. Very unique. It's 13 levels. You just go right into a dungeon. You're going to go around. You got to make sure everybody's watered. Food levels up. There are a lot of little maintenance things, but you're going through this beautiful dungeon and have to deal with things. I was playing the gold boxes on Steam. Yes, it was amazing. They have added all the manuals as PDFs too, and a map built in as you explore. Yes, that is fine. The Steam versions are fantastic. So I really suggest those. But if you want to go and download this and be lost for a few days, you're going to really enjoy some of these things that I am suggesting. Wow. Limp microphone. That's never happened. Must be my age. Oh, God. The Ultimas are fantastic. And the funny thing is like when you start with Wizardry, if you started with the first one, I don't suggest that because it's very antiquated. And for somebody young, they're going to look at it and go, what the hell is this? But if you kind of start at 3 and then get the premise of how things go, you can kind of go back. There were 8 Wizardries. There was 9 Ultimas. Fantasies was a great game. Wizard's Crown was another great game. Hills Far. I love that game. Was playing that the other day. What was the other one that I was just playing to no end? Go ahead. Go underneath. Like the sports games. I like the sports simulation things. Madden is horrible. Okay, it may be the worst game ever made. It's made so you could just trash talk each other and have these arcade scores, unless you're a professional. And it just lost all the magic. But the old games where you kind of plan things out, run a play. Okay, I'm going to try this. My team's not that good. Let me see if I can outcoach the other team, even though they were better. And those type of things were fun. They had kind of like a Stratomatic baseball. I think the more technology we got, the worse we did things. If you like certain games, Cannon Father 2, which is a great game, which was on the Amiga but also the PC. A lot of fun. Or the first one. The first one was the best. You take these little group of guys and you're doing these missions and they level up and stuff like that. And it's very arcadey, but it's fun as all get out. Xenomorph, which kind of is a lot of fun. You're going through a spaceship and have to deal with all kinds of different things. Starflight. Starflight is one of the first open world video games, and this was made in 1987. And you're flying around in your spaceship, you pick your crew, and you land on a planet. You don't know how that planet's going to be. Hopefully you got a good science officer, and he's going to scan the planet to see if the environment is stable. And then you take your little miner out, and you try to find ore or fuel and things like that, so you can explore. And while you're going, you run into aliens that are either hostile or not, and you try to communicate, learn their language. I mean, there's just so much stuff. And the beauty thing about it is you can click on each game, have the box turn over because they have all the boxes for it, the original art. And you can kind of see if it's something that's up your alley, read about it a little bit. But, days gone by. And for me, with everything going on in my life, this at night, because I took my computer out of here, because, for a number of reasons, and we'll talk about that. And I run everything off a laptop now. And, even I'm streaming right now off a laptop. But I used to have a PC out here with my big screen here. But now it's just, I put it in my bedroom. I lay on my little cot there, off to the side, and just, I get lost for 4 or 5 hours and just try to forget about the day. And, between that and my 12 terabyte, which you can get on Amazon, go check that out. It's plug and play, folks. You plug in the big drive into any computer or laptop, okay, and make sure you run it in a certain 60 hertz, okay, and you won't have any problems. And you just sit there and you can play, if you're a Super Nintendo fan, every game. If you are a Nintendo fan, every game. Genesis, every game. There are things from Japan, they have the Amiga, all the games from the Amiga. Every game on the Commodore, except for Project Firestar, which is the greatest freaking game ever. But that's okay, because I got another emulator that has that game on it. And I find myself realizing what a pathetic human being I was. I wasn't somebody that went out and drank every night and went to the clubs. On a Friday night when I was done working, my friends would try to get me to go out for a little while, and all I was thinking about was getting back, to my apartment or home and turn on my computer and just saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to have wrestling on. I'm going to play some games, and I'm going to play till about 2, 3 in the morning, and then wake up and get some things done during the day, go play some sports, go to the gym, and then come back and get back on my computer. And that was my life, because when I'm going through these 7,000 games, I go, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. And it was just a great time. You were, especially in Connecticut, where it was frozen, half a year. I would just get lost in some of the, we would have a couple people I knew, or I would go over their house and we would try to problem solve some of the puzzles in Ultima. Okay, we don't have this key. Where's this key? Well, there's no hints. Let's go to the tavern. Let's take our group to the tavern. And, everybody would throw out different things. And how do you beat this guy? I can't get by this guy to get through the gate, and then try to problem solve things like that. And it was a bunch of little things, Maniac Mansion was another game. We would sit there and try to problem solve stuff. And I just remember that, and I go, boy, maybe I should have hung out a little bit more. Maybe I should. No, I mean, I was happy. I'm not saying that, I was sitting there with a bag of Doritos pouring all over myself. But, those evenings, instead of, pissing money away, because that's what you do when you drink your face off. My age, back then, what else was there to do? You either went to the arcades or you went to a club and drank. For me, we like to go. I just like to do different things. I didn't want to piss my money away, drinking and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was like everybody else. You go out, a few times, but I just wasn't. It just wasn't something that I made a career out of. It was more, hey, I'm going to save up my money. I know that. And back then, not a lot of games came out. And when something came out, it was a big surprise. You would have to get a gaming magazine to find out when something was coming out. And you were like, this is coming out when? And you'd go down to, they used to have software stores. Software City. What was the egg one? I forgot the name of it. And you would go and buy all these things. And you go, okay, that's $30. Okay. $30 was like $80. And okay, I got it. And you had to be very, very selective. Wastelands was a great game I got lost in. And hundreds of hours into a game. And then, you build a catalog, and then, you're just, you're doing different things, or somebody else would buy something and you would go play it with them or something. Excuse me for a second. And of course, we play board games and stuff like that when you could. I play with my brothers. I was talking to my little brother yesterday. He goes, that looks familiar. I go, I know it does. Because there's a big difference between he and I. When he was born, I was 19. And so when, I used to hang out with him all the time. It was just when he was a little guy. He was 3 or 4. My brother meant the world to me, It was like raising a kid, But, usually when you have that kind of age gap, there's just this distance and there's this separation. There never was. I used to take him in the car with me. I tell my mom, I'm going to take Dave. And she go, okay. I get a free moment? Okay. And we go down to the toy store, and he was into all the He-Man figures and stuff like that. So I would buy him, I'd work all week and we'd go down and get, Masters of the Universe, whether it was He-Man or the Frog Guy or, whatever it was, whatever he didn't have. And I'd play with him. And then, a lot of times Saturday nights, I didn't have a date or anything like that. I would just, I would, put on, I forgot what that guy I had back then when he was small. Jeez. I think I had a couple systems, but regardless, he would crawl on my back and I would lay on the bed and I would sit there like that and he'd be on my shoulder going, you gotta get that guy. You gotta get that guy. And, until, my mother would come in the room and go, around 8 o'clock, he's got to go to bed. Just a little longer, Mom. Because we shared a room, and I was the one that volunteered to share the room with him. It was, we were always very close. And then, when we got older, he was working in New York, and I would, go up to New York and stay with him for a few days, and we'd go out and do things and stuff like that. He's a big hockey fan, so we'd go watch the Rangers, or when they play Toronto or something like that, or whatever. We go to football games, and we just always spent a lot of time together. He was just such a good kid, and we talk a lot and stuff like that, and he means the world to me. So I'm always sending him boxes because I'll take and I'll get a laptop and I'll start building it for him, and I'll fill it full of old stuff, and then I'll send it up to him because you don't have to do that. I go, yeah, I do. I'm your brother. But neither here nor there. So we've got a good amount of people in here. So, and I'm about 23 minutes in. So the hurricane, it was rough. And I talked about this a few weeks ago about, weathermen that are just idiots. And a lot of them, are predicting there was a guy that wrote this woman, and I was on X, Twitter or whatever the heck it was. And I was reading, and she was really worried because she lived in Tallahassee. And she was just praying that she can get by it. Okay, because this thing was just a monster. A monster. One of the biggest storms that we've ever seen. And some guy in the comment goes, I hope it goes to Cat 5. And, I usually don't comment, but I turned around and I said, you know something? I go, people's lives are at stake here. People's lives. I go, you know something? When you wish stuff like that, it comes back in spades. It really does. And of course, he didn't understand what that meant. But I didn't continue it on. But I was following her, and she's doing all right. She lost, a bunch of stuff. And, thank God for Governor DeSantis, who decided to have a ton of crews here to keep the power on. We were going to be fine power-wise because we have the Generac, and we really need it with the way people, I have a daughter that cannot be in a bad environment because of her lung capacity. So that thing goes on. We keep the air conditioning on and some minor power, and we put some solar panels out there so we have some backup to run fridges and stuff like that. But fortunately, we did not lose power. Our biggest fear was the animals, down limbs, which we had some down limbs, and then deciding which pasture to keep them in, because over in the front pasture there is a power line that runs across there, and I'm arguing with my son, hey, if we bring them in the back, he goes, well, there's some older trees back there. I'm afraid the limbs will fall on them. And I went, okay. I go, but if we put them in the front, if that wire goes down, and they go by it, it's a big pasture, it's about 7 or 8 acres. All they got to do is go by it in curiosity, because after all, they're cows and they're smarter than you think. They're going to get electrocuted. So we just felt, because of the windage, the wind that we were going to get, we did not get 140 miles an hour like some people did. We were on the outer parts, but we did take a hard hit. And so, there's been a lot of cleanup. The Brainiac, I said, hey, this trampoline here, we need to get some sandbags on it. If you need some help, let me know. No, I got it. He forgot to put sandbags on. So that dumped and ended up against one of the blue sheds. I think I got a little movie I'll put up there today that I'll show you guys. You can see that on YouTube. I'll put it up on here as a short. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. But we tipped it over. It's okay. It's good. He can mow that area now. I can mow that area now. We got, so we're very fatigued. There's another storm on the way that'll be here next weekend. Whether it's here or in the Gulf, all we know is that it is going to power up. This is the time of year where you sit here and you are watching the news day in, day out, trying to find out as much good information as you can. And I want to hand it out to Weatherman Plus, very Christian-based guy. People attack him for his beliefs and stuff like that. But this guy just, he gets very emotional, upset when he sees these storms develop. He doesn't want people to get hurt. And he prays for people and stuff like that. And we need more people in the world like that. And we don't get people like that. All these other weather channels that are on YouTube, they're all a bunch hype trained. They want the clicks. They want the big views. And they get the big views. And don't get me wrong, he's got a great channel with, a 250,000 people that follow him. They follow him because they trust him. And he tells you almost a month out when something's going to come. Hey, I know that at the end of the month, we are going to be dealing with something. And it's just smart information without the hype and the bull crap that you would get. And I'm very thankful for him. And I wrote him and I told him, hey, don't listen to people. I go, I have a YouTube channel. You get a lot of crap. People don't, there's good people out there, but there's a lot of people that, unless you're doing, what they need, there's no loyalty, and they don't care about you or your family or what you go through. It's either entertain me or you're a piece of garbage. And that's what a lot of the internet is. And it's sad because there was a difference from when I was younger. When I played video games, it was because, well, it was too cold to go do certain things. But I also got outside. Okay, I was playing racquetball outside down by the water. I had a bunch of friends. We had a racquetball. We called it paddle ball back then. I was playing highlight in between three buildings or up, whatchamacallit. We would get a football game on a Sunday and play. We played in leagues in softball, or we played baseball. We'd get a whole bunch of people. We would play tennis. We would play anything that we could. Mini golf. We would have mini golf tournaments. Watch Twin Tour Golf. It is the greatest channel ever. I love those guys because it reminds me of when we were younger. We would put $5, which was a lot of money back then, into a kitty, and we would play miniature golf. It was $3 to play miniature golf. So we would take a $10 bill. No, it was 2 games for $5. So we would play double elimination. Top 4 would move on, and we would have 8 guys, and the guys would have runner-ups, and we would take that pot, and there would be a winner of the first bracket and winner of the second bracket, and what would happen is the money would be split a certain way. So if you won, you win into the winner's bracket, and if you won that bracket, then you would get the prize money, and then all the losers that didn't make the cut would play off, and the winner of that would get the second place prize. And that's the way we used to play. And we would go to different mini golf courses, and they adopted this and turned it into a YouTube channel. These 2 twins, and they're just brilliant. It's so fun to watch, and I really highly suggest that channel. Check it out. I really love those kids because it brings me back to a better day. But we were always doing something. We were out playing. We were out doing things. And then, I wasn't a huge drinker. I mean, I'd drive around with my friends, and we'd go to arcades and, wink at, batter eyes at whoever. And, hi, how you doing? But, back then, we were all kind of awkward, I think. But, and then play video games because I love video games. But I was diverse. It wasn't my whole life was being stuck in a house eating Doritos and Taco Bell, and not having the social skills to get out and talk with people. You kept out there. So, like I said, a lot of these things, it was different. And nowadays, people are just, they are what they are. So it's kind of sad when people attack people, especially when people are trying to help. Another guy is Mr. Weatherman. He really he is our local guy. He has a YouTube channel, and it is blowing up because, again, he doesn't have to do a channel. He makes plenty of money as a meteorologist for our local station in Orlando here. But the thing that really stands out is that he really is to the point and does not try to scare you, and says, listen, I'm not sure. We need more time and more data. But here's what could happen, and here's what can't happen. Okay? And here's what I'm seeing. And 99% of the time, he's right. So that is very helpful as we prepare for things. And by the time you get to this point of the season, you are just fatigued. And speaking of fatigue, so I'm going to bring up the next thing. we got some really horrible news, and it puts a lot of pressure on me, and it kind of changes how things are going to go. Unfortunately, I got to figure out how to rename this so people can see this information. So, unfortunately, my son's been having a lot of real bad pain in his back. Because my back's bothering me. When because he sits down and he works and stuff like that, and he's doing schoolwork, and he's had pain going out into the field and stuff like that. And so he decided to go get it checked the other day, and they discovered a tumor attached to his spine. So, for us, it was pretty devastating news, because there's a lot of bad things that can happen with this. Fortunately, we have some fantastic people in the family that are in the medical field, and he got this specialist down in Jupiter, which is about 4 hours away. And they went down, they did some more MRIs, in which he sat in that little box for an hour because it was attached to his spine, and they were afraid there was something up in his head. They are dealing with that. And there wasn't, thank God, but there's this thing, and it's attached, and they're trying to figure out, and it's hard to see with the pictures because it is in there. And they're going to have to do a major surgery on him, which puts a lot of pressure on me, because not only do I have to run the farm, but financially I have to carry the farm somehow. And it's a lot on us. His rehabilitation, we don't know how he's going to come out of this. It is a very dangerous operation. He can run into some permanent disability, but it has to come out. So we're getting prepped for that. So, it really puts a lot on me, especially, we have a philosophy here. You can punch us as hard as you want in the face, and we will shake it off, and we will keep going forward. That's one thing I've taught this family. My wife got kind of mad at me. It's kind of funny, because I'm talking to him and I'm going, listen, there's no time to cry. You have to fight. And he goes, what's with the college football speech? I go, what do you mean? I go, it's not a college football. If I sit there and I cry, and if I take all the things that I'm feeling and just sit there and cry, oh, woe is me, what does that do for his psychology? Oh my God, my dad's a mess. There's no hope. No. You set the example. You let him, it's a fine line, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But, for me, it's, hey, okay, next man up. Let's go. You can't do this? Okay, I'll figure it out. I'll get it done. I need you to show me a few things. And, and it is a real fight to emotionally, be the strength of the family, which I am, because, my mother-in-law is getting old. We're trying to help her. He's down now. We've got some other news, which I'm not ready to reveal. My daughter-in-law's been sick. The grandkids are tough. We are fighting, we had some damage here that's got to be fixed. I've got to take care of that. We've got to take care of the animals. So there's a lot on me, and, and of course try to run this channel. And that's where, something has to be sacrificed. But I'm not going to try to. Thank God I've got a lot of stuff in the can. I'm all caught up with all the stuff that's been sent to me. That people need reviews for, and if more stuff comes, I'll handle it. But one of the things is trying to raise some money. So I'm going to be doing an auction. It's going to be strictly to try to help us get through this very difficult time. Listen, you guys are going through difficult times too. Okay, things are not easy out there, and this all comes at the worst time, of course. But you stand up and you fight back. You don't lay down. You get up and you fight. And that's the thing that I'm trying to tell him. And he's scared. He's scared. He's a young kid. He's 30-something years old. This could be life-threatening, depending on what type of tumor it is. Hopefully it doesn't grow back. Depending if it's one type of tumor. When I had mine in my shoulder, thank God it was, crystallized. And, they were able to give me medication to take care of it. This is tough. It's attached to the spine. One wrong move, he doesn't walk again. Then what? Or if this thing is, something really bad, and something unfortunate happens. Well, now I'm raising my grandkids. That's okay too. It's not okay, but we will find a way. We will find a way. And, you get a lot of people, and I see them on here, and they boo-hoo, and they want this, and I don't know what. You fight. You get up and you fight. I say this to you guys all the time. Tomorrows aren't guaranteed. Okay? So you live your life, and you fight as hard as you can. And that's what we do here. That's what we're about. Okay? When you have my last name, okay, that has been handed down, okay, we have fought. We have always fought. We're the first to fight. Okay? We're Polish. Our descendants, we're the first to fight. Polish Italian. Well, Polish Romanian and a little bit of Italian. But, we are very prideful people. And we don't ask anybody for anything, We try to do the best we can. And it's a scary situation. Financially, it's hard because he's not going to be able to work for a long time. And I've got to figure it out. So I'm going to sell a ton of stuff to get us through. So I hope you'll support whatever auctions I have and try to help us out in that way. Let me give you something and you give me back something in return. So you get something. So I'm going to figure that out. And, make sure that we keep the farm going, take care of the animals. I've got to work my full-time job. I've got to, keep all the things that I do going. And, okay, so, I was working 20 hours. What's that? Add 2 more hours, right? 22 hours. So you do the best you can and you fight through it and you get it done. And that's the way you do things, positivity, good mental outlook, and you fight hard. We've got another storm on the horizon coming up. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll get through that just like we do everything else. But you get tired. And sometimes you just got to take a deep breath and figure it out. I know these people don't watch this channel anymore, but these very nice people, I'll never forget, when Cool Stuff was actually a store, I went there to pick something up. This was back when I was working with the Dice Tower. And I get out of the car, and these people get out, and they go, "You're Rob Warren, you're with the Dice Tower." I go, "Yeah, how you doing?" They go, "Yeah, we drove all the way from Arkansas, And we went down to Disney, and then we wanted to stop at this store because, Tom was sponsored by Cool Stuff. Well, these people were just so nice, and I took some pictures with them and went up on my way. Well, the next Dice Tower Con, which was in Orlando, I was there with Tom and everybody. And that couple comes up and they go, "Hey, how you doing?" I go, "Oh my God, hi, how are you?" And she goes, "We made this especially for you." And it's really cool. And I've always had it. It's my little bag, my chip bag that I use. They made this really, really cool. And I've always kept it. It's always meant something to me because they were just such nice people. It was Alabama or Arkansas. Boy, I forget. But I just saw that over there, and I wanted to pull that out. Ton of reviews this week. Some good, some bad. I actually trash a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I've been trashing. And I'm kind of shocked because, you know me, I like to do positive reviews, but boy, there's been some stinkers out there, and they're head scratchers for me. They really are. But that's that. I got a couple more things coming in that I'll do some taping with. I got one thing that I'm taping today that I really am enjoying. Of course, David Thompson, who I used to talk to all the time, and now, barely hear. I don't hear anything from him, actually. But I love his Undaunted series. I liked everything that he ever did. And just been a long-time fan of his, and this is really, really good. If you get a chance to get your hands on it, please do. I'm trying to think what else I had. So we'll line up those auctions and things like that, and it's going to go to basically keeping the farm going, because they've got to be fed and stuff like that. So we're going to do that while he's down. Like I always say, next man up. When I was hurting, fortunately I kept working, so it didn't affect anything. But, he made sure that the farm ran well and things like that. And when I was down, the kid was always there, never complained or anything like that. And, now that he's down, I'll pick up the slack and take care of it. I've got a game plan in place, and we're going to get it done. And I've got a great family. You guys I'm sure have great families, and when you love your family as much as you do, and they are your whole life, you will put yourself on the line for it. So whatever it takes for us to get through this, but we will. Hopefully, we can use any kind of prayers. If you don't pray, that's fine. Good thoughts would help if if you're not a religious person. But if you are, we can use some extra prayers for my guy. I want to make sure he's okay. And that, for me, that is a very important thing. He is my son, my only son. So, you just do the best you can, and that's all you can do. It's funny, when they went down to Jupiter, my wife took him, because my daughter-in-law had to go and work. Or, no, she was sick. She's been sick. She's got the flu or something. So she couldn't watch him. So they were going to have my mother-in-law watch him. I go, why are you going to do that and possibly get her sick? And then my daughter, who's been, not doing too well, they were going to have her watch him. And I said, no, keep her out of here too. So I came up with this game plan. And I said, okay, I'm going to do some work. I'm going to try to get some work done in the morning, and then we're going to go do some things, all right? Because they are little hellions, okay? And Robbie's only 3, so he whines a lot, and Emery's 5, so she wants to be the center of attention, and then it becomes this tug of war thing, because they're so close in age, and they're little pains in the asses, to be blunt. But so I had some work I had to do for my job, so I'm doing it, and I had him sit on my bed and watch Bubble Guppies. I go, I need you guys to watch 3 episodes of Bubble Guppies. That's an hour and a half, because I needed to do some paperwork and stuff, and make some phone calls. So they watched that, and by the end of the 3rd one, they were starting to get a little antsy. So I throw them in the car, and I said, okay, you guys did right by me. Come on, we're going to go get some lunch, because by that time it was a little after 11. So first, I said, let me stop at Walmart, because it's a little early for lunch. So we stopped at Walmart. So I got them some Halloween cookies. I said, if you guys are really, really good, after dinner, for your after dinner reward, you can have one of these Halloween cookies. Really? Yeah, okay. Then I took them down the toy aisle. And I said, you guys can pick something out. I said, okay, if I can keep them busy and I can finish my afternoon work, I'll be in great shape, right? We go down the toy aisle, and of course, they want to get the stupidest thing. She goes, this is a pocketbook, and if you press the button, it jingles. You know how long you're going to play with that? 4 minutes. They had these little play sets. They had this little veterinary play set, and it was $14. Cheap plastic, but it had puppies, had little things. You open it up, and there's all kinds of different things you could do. I go, that's what she wants. So I tell her, I go, don't you want to be a veterinarian? Take care of all the animals? Yeah, Pop, yeah. Okay, that one's for you. I show him the dinosaur one. Nah, I'm gonna keep looking. I go, what do you mean you're gonna keep looking? And he sees this underwater sea thing. It had a little diver, had a little vehicle, and then it had a whale shark, and then whales and sharks and some other things, and it was an aquarium thing. And he was like, oh my God, because he loves sea creatures. So I got him that. So for $30, I said maybe I could buy myself an afternoon. I go, you guys can only have these after you have a nap. So I got everything kind of planned out. So we go to Cracker Barrel, which is a place here. And I go, how about some pancakes, guys? Because they love pancakes. What's up? How you feeling? You hurting? All right. So, General Sorrow, how are you? The golden box is on Steam. Yes. They come in a pack, and you can get 3 of them. It's the Dungeons and Dragons or SSI packs that they have, and you'll get a bunch of games, and I think it's like $20-something. You can download them, or you can go to MS-DOS, EX-DOS, I think it's called, and you can download the 5 gig file and then just download what you want. But you will be in your glory, trust me. So we go to Cracker Barrel. They come pancakes. Now it's about 11:45. He wanted pancakes. She wanted the kids' cheeseburger. Okay, great. So she goes, gee, Pop, I would really like a pancake. And I go, oh, God. I go, well, Robbie, will you give her a little bit of pancake? Yeah, can I have a little bit of a hamburger? Sure. So they decided to share. Right? Okay, great. They ate everything, which usually they hem and haw, but they sat there, they ate everything, and they were good. So we get him home, and I said, you have to take a nap, both of you. So he goes, okay, I want to take a nap in my room. I go, okay. So I put him in his room, falls right to sleep. My granddaughter doesn't take naps. I told her, you're taking a nap. But you can take a nap on Pop-Pop's bed. Okay. So she goes, gets her squishy, and I turn on, I turn on the computer because I got to do some work. And she falls asleep. Great. Buys me an hour and a half, right? So they sleep about an hour and a half or so, and she never sleeps, but she slept. And then I got my work done, and then they woke up, bring them into my room, and I put together the 2 play sets, and they play for another hour and a half, so I get some more work done. Perfect. All right, get done with work, sign out. I go, okay, guys, we're going to go to dinner. So we go. I tell them, I go, where do you want to go? Well, yeah. I go, I'm going to take you someplace magical. They go, yeah? I'm going to take you to Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake? What's that? I go, have you guys ever had a milkshake? No. No problem. They love cheeseburgers. They will eat cheeseburgers every day. I knew that was the easy part. So we go there, and they both get the baby milkshakes. They eat that. They eat their cheeseburgers, the milkshakes. I get them home. Okay. I go, do you guys want to watch a movie? Because we were going to watch that Wild Robot, because I have one of those scrambler things. And they go, no, we want to play with our play sets. Perfect. I give them each a cookie because they got their dinner reward. I had them get their jammies on. And at 7 o'clock, sent their little back ends to bed. Job done. Job done. Job done. So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that, you got to pick up and you got to do. You got to run with it, And they were really good. They were really good. And everybody was, like, terrified that they were going to be themselves. But I've always got a plan. My mother-in-law. Thank you for all the tickets. Every Sunday morning, I get her the paper and I get her scratch tickets. That was a pleasant surprise. Now here's hoping I can win something. She hasn't been winning, but I let her. She likes the crossword scratch tickets. So you try to take care of everybody. And, when you get this age, my age, or you're in your mid-60s, and, you lead. You lead by example. You show hard work. You show passion. You show concern. You try to delegate. You try to think for everybody. You stand up. I try to keep myself in great shape for one reason. It's not my time. And, this family needs a good leader. And the way my father was for our family, my father-in-law was, my grandfather. When you lead by example, and there's never the word I can't. And so, I know, he's hurting right now. And he went out there. I told him I would take care of everything, when I got off here. But no, he wants to do what he can while he can. I think maybe just to take it off his mind. So, he's going to go feed the cows and check the chickens and the bees and the goats and, all the other stuff. And do what he has to do. But he's down right now. So we pick him up. We'll find a way, and we will fight hard. And I just hope you guys will be understanding during this. A lot of people go, oh, well, this channel's done, and we'll go someplace else. Okay, fine. But for the people that, have stood by me, stick with me, I'm very thankful for. And I hope you'll continue to stay. And like I said, it's going to be tough. And I'm going to try to get as much content as I can. I hope you'll support our auctions, which will really help us get through a very tough time. And like I always say, if you can't, that's fine too. Just watching helps. Okay, it really does. It helps. And being there to support us during our very difficult time. Next man up, and we will, I will continue to. I have enough stuff in the can. We're thinking that possibly the operation would be around the 14th, somewhere in that area. And I was planning on taking November and December off, and I have a ton of stuff for Warhammer Quest. You're going to want to see it. If you saw the video of all the stuff that we got from Little Monk, I'm starting to film some additional stuff to add to that, along with some other things that I've done that I was going to do in August and September. But I pushed all it so I can take the holidays off. Hopefully we can have a good holiday here season. But, if we don't, we will fight through it. That's what we do. That's what we do, my brothers and sisters. We fight hard, and just very difficult times. We will overcome it. And but the last 4 or 5 years have been real tough, and I've come out the other side. We've taken a hit. Yeah, I understand, but I keep going forward. I'm coming into my 10th year doing this. 10 years. In March it'll be 10 years. And it tells a story. The channel tells a story with over 4,000 videos. And it tells a very different story. Some very great highs and some really low lows. But the most important thing, a year ago we didn't even think I was going to be here. I was so sick. But thank God that, the $30,000 treatment. But, we got through that. We somehow got that paid. And I'm here. And I'm stronger than ever. Modern medicine. It wasn't my time. I used up 6 of my 9 lives. That's all right. That's all right. But, we keep going. We are fighters. Every one of us. All the things my poor wife went through. My daughter-in-law. Myself, now my son. It's tough. Life's tough. But I can tell you one thing, and I can promise you this much, no matter what your age, how young you are out there, if you have the heart and you believe in yourself and you don't say, oh, poor me, and you have faith and continue to just fight. Just an everyday thing. It's hard to get up to go to work every day, but do it. It's hard to get up and, when you're tired and you have things to do, but get them done. You'll feel better when they're done. And if you just keep going forward, good things happen. Nothing's handed to you in life, my friends. You have to fight for it. And I truly believe in my heart of hearts that if you fight as hard as you can, good things will be on the other side for you. Okay? And that's what we do here. And that's why I fight for this channel all the time. It's, you can easily just go, oh, the hell with this. But, I believe in it. It's an expression for me. It's something that means something to me. And it means something to some people out there. And that's what keeps me going. Because every time I want to go, oh, okay, maybe I'll stop. There's just this thing inside that clicks and goes, nope, I'm going to keep going until I can't go no more. And on that day, I will leave happily and quietly. And that'll be that. But in the meantime, there's just so much to do, so much to show, so much to share. And I'm just thankful for each and every one of you. And so, again, thank you for your support. Thank you for everything. And my friends, we shall see you on the other side of it. Oh, here he comes. Jess?
Yeah.
You alright?
Yep.
The girls fed?
Yeah.
How are they?
They're good.
Flies?
Not very bad.
Okay, good. I got to have him show me a whole bunch of things. And I've got a game plan, so, we're going to get through this. Alright? We'll get through it all together. And we're always going to be positive and do the right things. And that's what we do here. And thank God, that that we have a great channel with great people out there. If you're new here, I hope you subscribe. I hope you watch. There is a catalog as long as that you can remember. And some of my best stuff was a few years ago. Lately it hasn't been as good, but something, I'll get back there. I promise you. We're really going to crank things up. And, it's been a tough couple of years, but I promise you I will just keep going and do the best I can and everything. And we'll get through this with your thoughts and your prayers, and we'll be fine. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. For those of you that are watching football, I hope you enjoy it. And me, I think I'm going to play some video games when I'm done doing all the stuff I got to do, because I got tons of stuff to do. Reach, that's another good game you want to check out. All right, my brothers and sisters, you have a wonderful day. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody. This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.